May the best man win. But this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
It's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Heard, though, that Pacquiao is going to look horrible.
Floyd Mayweather has warned Manny Pacquiao against fighting Mario Barrios, saying boxing isn't a game to play with. Analysts share his worry, noting Pacquiao's poor performance in his last fight years ago. Comebacks rarely end well. Most returning. Fighters struggle. And victories are rare miracles, not expected results.
Left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old, going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going in?
No, I don't have concerns. And look, I can post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing, I need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed. It in front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao's not going to have zero legs.
Analysts are deeply worried about Manny Pacquiao's health if he goes with the fight against Mario Barrios. Boxing is an intense, brutal sport where fighters often suffer major injuries, especially when coming out of retirement. Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally in 5 years, and his body may no longer handle the physical demands and punishment in the ring. Experts fear that prolonged inactivity and age could make him more open to lasting damage. History shows that many retired boxers returning to the ring face serious health risks, including concussions and long-term brain injuries. If you like this, please subscribe Punch Vista and click the bell icon for more latest and interesting videos.
Because what's the worst case scenario? Someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has like life-altering injuries, and that could happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold. I thought when he got knocked out by Marquez, I thought he died. It was that scary.
Yeah.
Remember that one? So
I do.
Ultimately, I'm most surprised that if it hasn't been officially announced, if it lands in Nevada or California, I'll be very surprised and dare I say disappointed.
Raising real concerns about Manny's well-being in this matchup, former world champion Ricky Hatton voiced amusement at Manny Pacquiao's decision to return to professional boxing after a 5-year hiatus. Hatton described the current boxing landscape as unpredictable and noted that it makes no sense for Pacquiao to jump back into a legitimate world title fight so long after retirement. He hopes that Pacquiao stays unharmed, but suggests that the timing and circumstances of this comeback raise many questions.
For the WBC title, a number of years out of the ring, what do you make of it?
Well, one, I hope he doesn't get hurt. I think there's every chance he could do. Secondly, I think how has he got to a world title shot? 5th in the world, imagine if he was number 1 and 2 in the division and trained all your life to get there, and then Manny comes in after being retired 5 years or whatever it is, and goes into number 5 in the division. Boxing these days.
Manny Pacquiao's position as an 8-division world champion is undisputed, having achieved feats that few fighters in history have matched. Yet his announcement to return and chase Another world title has triggered criticism from fans and analysts alike. Many feel that Pacquiao's legacy is already safe and question the wisdom of challenging his own health and reputation by fighting at an elite level again. The criticism often centers on worries that his prolonged absence and age could compromise his performance, possibly tarnishing the image of a celebrated legend.
Common sense, like being a world champion means you are the best in the world. You are the champion of this world at your weight class. We all know right now, at least to me, it's common knowledge that's Jaron Boots Ennis. At 147, he is the best in the world. But he doesn't hold all 4 belts, so he is only one of the 2 or 3, I guess now, world champions. Doesn't make sense to me, and especially when now you're the WBC and you're like, yeah, let's bring in Manny Pacquiao to potentially win a world championship. And let's say he pulls it off by some miracle. Are we going to put Manny Pacquiao in there with Boots Ennis? Is that what we're going to do? I hope not. And again, this is not me trying to be a hater. It's just, I don't want to see Manny get hurt. And Barrios, you know, not the biggest puncher in the world, but he can hurt it badly. He is a volume puncher, and he will be in there against a guy that, again, isn't a natural 147. Even if he finished his career at 147, that's not where Manny was his best self. He's definitely going to be at a massive size disadvantage here. Height, reach, everything. Again, when Manny was in his prime, or, you know, honestly, when he was still in his late 30s and early 40s before he retired, he could have handled that. His speed was still there. The consistency was still there. He wasn't running for political office and doing all this other stuff and taking time off. We see this time and time again. When a boxer retires, takes a long time off, and then comes back, it usually, again, outside of George Foreman, rest in peace to the GOAT, it usually doesn't go well. And I don't think this is going to either. And it's clear to me that this is done for, you know, a staging of an event versus the actual competitive nature of the fight. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and that Manny still has it, but I'm just going to go with what makes the most sense. The WBC and whoever they partner with on this is going to try to sell tickets off of it. Okay, that's fine, but what's the point of the belt if this is the match? What are you saying as the WBC to all the actual contenders that you have ranked at welterweight for?
Some observers have voiced that Pacquiao's return is more disrespectful to the sport than even high-profile celebrity boxing fights, such as the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul event. The sentiment comes from the belief that these comeback fights prioritize spectacle and financial gain over genuine athletic competition. Critics argue that Pacquiao's fight against Mario Barrios may diminish the prestige of title bouts and disillusion fans who expect high-quality matchups.
It's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. This is an outrage. People should be up in arms about this fight. This is so disrespectful. Barrios loses this fight, he should quit boxing. You let Manny Pacquiao, an old dude who stopped boxing, and then you're his first fight back? You are disrespectful as a
Reflecting on past bouts, commentators remember Floyd Mayweather's extraordinary success in fighting Pacquiao despite multiple weight divisions separating them. Sports analyst Max Kellerman highlighted how Pacquiao was able to rise and fight at a higher weight class while maintaining his speed and agility. This historical context adds nuance to the discussion about Pacquiao's current attempt to return, recognizing his past ability to overcome challenges, but also underscoring how exceptional his prime was compared to the present circumstances.
Who would your top 5 be?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Number 1?
Yeah, and then pound for pound. See, Pacquiao he started as a flyweight champ. Not just he started his career there. He was the champion at flyweight and then moved up. There are so many divisions between flyweight and junior middleweight where he also won a belt. Even the fact that he could compete with Floyd Mayweather, who's a naturally bigger guy and one of the greatest pure boxers. Pacquiao's overall body of work, you could have him second pound for pound behind Sugar Ray Robinson.
How come I'm watching highlights of him knocking people out though, as little as he is, man?
Oh, that dude. It's the calves, man. He's got those fast twitchies and those big calves jump in on you and generate a lot of power. Crazy hand speed and power from a southpaw. Really awkward, hard to beat, lightning fast. Pacquiao was all that.
Manny Pacquiao has voiced openness to a rematch with Floyd Mayweather, albeit in the form of an exhibition rather than a competitive professional fight. Pacquiao has indicated that if Mayweather wants to proceed with such an event, he is willing to participate This comment suggests Pacquiao's desire to engage in high-profile bouts, possibly valuing the entertainment and financial aspects alongside competitive legacy.
A exhibition now, later on down the line.
Oh, why not? Why not? If he's willing to have a rematch with me, then
an exhibition.
I'm okay with that.
An exhibition. How does it go now? This time around, obviously, it's been quite a few years since you guys got in the ring.
It's okay. An exhibition with a decision.
With a decision, not just exhibition.
Yeah.
So for how long do you
exhibition with a decision?
Boxing analyst and former fighter Carl Frampton did not mince words regarding Pacquiao's choice. He called the fight a joke and described it as a mistake, implying that the risk to Pacquiao's health and reputation outweighs any possible benefits. Frampton's harsh critique echoes a common worry in boxing circles that returning veterans may endanger themselves for questionable reasons, often financial rather than sporting value.
It's a joke, really. There's the thought. It's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen world champion kickboxers coming and sparring boxers. They can't box. They can kick, but they can't, and they can kick and box a little bit. They can't really box, and Manny didn't look great. I mean, yep, I don't know. The WBC, I think they have a lot of time for him, Richie O'Sullivan, but I think it's a mistake, really do, and they should be quite embarrassed allowing a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao straight in for a world title.
Contrary to some critics who accuse Pacquiao of making a comeback, solely for a large payday, Pacquiao himself has publicly stated that financial gain is not his motivation. He has highlighted his philanthropic efforts and charitable donations as evidence that money is not the main driver. Instead, Pacquiao claims his return is fueled by a passion for the sport and a desire to chase history, hoping to add another remarkable chapter to his legacy rather than simply lining his pockets.
So Manny Pacquiao is taking on a challenge against Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios currently holds the WBC World Championship of the world. Now, a lot of people are saying that Manny Pacquiao is only doing this for a payday. And recently I saw an interview where he said that he's donated over $1 billion to multiple charities. Now, if that's the case, you guys just sound dumb as hell, because that just means 1, this man's balling, 2, this man's generous, and 3, a lot of people have been looking up to the wrong role model, because you see people like Mayweather, the richest boxer of all time, right? Buys a $30 million watch and then flexes it on his own fucking fans. Meanwhile, Pacquiao is doing the people's work, alright, man? This man's fucking trying to be president. I think he is president of the Philippines or something. He's just pulling in his weight, and he's just trying to go for GOAT status, you know what I'm saying? He got, his old coach coaching him in the corner again. Honestly, I do feel like it's going to end in a tragedy, though. I feel like Mario Barrios, depending if he's nice or not, will end Pacquiao.
Prominent boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has also expressed reservations about Pacquiao's return, particularly stressing the challenges posed by inactivity and age. At 46 years old, Pacquiao is no longer the explosive athlete he once was, and Hearn warns that maintaining top performance levels after years away from the ring is incredibly difficult. While some fans are excited by the thought of seeing a beloved icon back in action, others worry that this fight could compromise Pacquiao's health and sully his storied legacy.
Kind of a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's 2 questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. You know, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots. You know, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Greg Hackett, a respected boxing trainer, gave an unvarnished opinion on Pacquiao's upcoming fight against Mario Barrios. Hackett mentioned that if this match had taken place several years ago, Pacquiao would have been the clear favorite. However, the present reality is starkly different. He pointed out that at 46, Pacquiao lacks the speed, endurance, and ferocity that marked his prime years. Hackett described the fight as a money fight, more of a spectacle than a real contest between two elite competitors. The announcement of Pacquiao's return sent shockwaves throughout the boxing world.
Hit a lick, I mean, but Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on. Yeah. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he could make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans are going to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Manny Pacquiao has a die-hard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boots, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money, and you want to do great things.
Mauricio Sulayan, president of the World Boxing Council, stated that all necessary approvals were secured for Pacquiao to contend for the welterweight title. Fans, however, remain split. Some are thrilled at the prospect of witnessing one of the sport's best fighters back in the ring, while others fear that this return may damage his reputation or risk serious injury. Mario Barrios, the younger and currently active contender, has approached the fight with a calm and focused attitude. He has expressed respect for Pacquiao, but says he will not be intimidated by the legendary name. Barrios plans to utilize his youth, reach, and stamina to pressure Pacquiao throughout the fight. For Barrios, this is far more than just a paycheck. It is a career-defining chance to prove himself by defeating one of boxing's all-time greats.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
It showed that, combination punchers, that's how Pacquiao, was landing, his punches, combinations. And, just showed you that, he is a great fighter, but, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time.